right. We started.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right. Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, we're going to start off by giving our praise and glory to Yahweh, Yahweh Shai, double honors to the apostles and elders of Yesharala, the Ruel, and salutations to you, Akim, out there in the highways and the byways, preaching his word in truth and in sincerity. To you, brothers, we say shalom. This is Brother Shakal.
Brother Archer.
This is Brother Yaya.
Out here from the Geometrical Camp, coming at you with another lesson. And as you brothers see on the screen, the title, don't abuse this liberty.
Yeah, don't abuse.
You know, because hey, the Lord gave us mercy. You know, to still be alive, to still be a nation, hey, to be part of this truth, and not to get judged according to our sins. You know, as long as we believe and follow the law, statutes, and commandments to the best of our ability, right? But in no way, shape, or form is that an excuse just because we're under grace to be like, oh, we could just fuck around and do whatever we want. The Lord is gonna have he's always gonna have mercy. No, man. Hey, we have to put away the old man. This liberty was meant for us to renew ourselves. Was meant for us to, you know, since we failed the first time in going after Yahweh Bashim Yahushai and seeking the Lord and following His law, statutes, and commandments. Now with this grace, we got to show them that we're really repenting, and we got to use this liberty, this freedom, you know, this grace period, to prove that, man. Not to fuck around and just please ourselves, please our flesh, but the contrary, to keep ourselves disciplined, keep ourselves in order, and do what pleases Yahweh Bashim Yahushai to the best of our ability. That's what this grace period is for. You know, a lot of people, you hear that a lot from the Christians. Oh, we're under grace, so we could sin, we could do whatever. You know, I just ask for forgiveness, and I'm good.
Right.
No, that's not the case, man. Because if you do that and you're using this liberty, you know, to please yourself, to do whatever you want, then the Lord is still going to destroy you.
Yeah,
because you're abusing it, man.
Yeah.
Okay. With that, Galatians.
Yeah, get 1 Peter 2:16, and then we come back to Galatians.
All right. This is 1 Peter 2:16.
This is, can you read and see if we can start up?
Yeah, I'm reading right now. I'll start it at 15. 1 Corinthians 2:15. For so is the will of the Most High, that with well-doing ye may put to silence the ignorance of foolish men, as free, and not using your liberty for a cloak of maliciousness, but as the servants of Yahweh.
And yeah, there you go. Not for a covering to do wickedness, not for an excuse to be like, oh well, I'm good. You know, I'll just keep getting forgiven from the Lord. No, man. But to use it as what? To be a servant of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, man. That's what the Lord called us here for. That's what the Lord gave us this grace and mercy for. Not to please ourselves, man.
Right.
Okay.
Because if you're doing that, you're doing the same shit, you know, Jake was doing, you know, back then. Just going after their lusts, going after what pleases them, and forgetting about the Lord, which was what initially got us in the predicament they were in the first place.
Right. Absolutely. It says your new moons. He said, you know, what did it say? They're abomination to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it inspires the new moon, saying, "When will we buy? When will we sell?"
Right.
You know, that's our people, man. And hey, we can't be like that, man, or else we're gonna get destroyed right along with the heathen. We gotta be those examples, man. We gotta show the Lord that we're not taking this for granted. We gotta show the Lord that we're really, you know, feel bad for all the wickedness we've done in this life, and the possible ones we've done in our past life.
Yeah. Grab that Isaiah 1:13. That talks about like you're saying, after you straying away, there's new moons. Start up as Isaiah 1 and I think 13. Or start up above that. Where the Lord is, He tired of us because like you say, you didn't pretend that then the other one, their hearts are far from it. They say they're gonna do this stuff, but you've taken this liberty, your hearts are far from it. Loosely paraphrasing, but I think Isaiah talks about the new moons and all this stuff, pretending that you love the Lord, but you really don't.
This is
That's
Isaiah.
used as liberty as like the elder brother is going into.
Yeah, this is Isaiah 1, and I'll start at I'll start at 9. Isaiah 1 and 9. Except Yahweh of hosts had left unto us a very small remnant, we should have been as Sodom, and we should have been like unto Gomorrah. Hear the word of the Lord, ye rulers of Sodom. Give ear unto the law of our power, ye people of Gomorrah. To what purpose is the multitude of your sacrifices unto me? Saith Yahweh, I am full of the burnt offerings of rams and the fat of fed beasts, and I delight not in the blood of bullocks or of lambs or of he-goats. When ye come to appear unto me, when you come to appear before me.
What happened?
Excuse me. What are you talking about?
Froze.
Nah, yeah.
Hello?
Yeah, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear y'all now. Froze. My end froze?
Yeah, it was just
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm at the office, so
Let's go.
just keep rolling without me. I haven't done anything. I'm still sitting here, so I don't know.
Yeah, it's cool. Isaiah 1 and 11. Isaiah 1 and 12. When ye come to appear before me, who hath required this at your hand to tread my courts? Bring no more vain oblations. Incense is an abomination unto me. The new moons and Sabbaths, the calling of assemblies, I cannot away with. It is iniquity, even the solemn meeting. Your new moons and your appointed feasts, my soul hateth. They are trouble unto me. I am weary to bear them. That's what they was going into, man.
Yeah. So,
go ahead.
No, you got your call. Go ahead.
Oh well, yeah, because what were they doing in the new moons and all? They weren't keeping it holy, man. They were doing their own thing. They were defiling them. They weren't taking it seriously. So the Lord despised that. Like, what is like? This is an abomination to me, man. So same thing. Now that we're under grace, here it is. You think you have works. Here it is. You think you're straight, but the Lord really looks at you in disgust because you're abusing this liberty. You're not, using it as the Most High intended, man.
Facts. Yeah, and it's very important because you can walk that fine line, and the Lord is judging the intent. He knows what's really going on. You know what I mean? Are you really standing 10 toes down for this truth? Are you using it for colloquial maliciousness like we talked about for evil? The Lord is not mocked. You're gonna reap what you sow. So you can't, you got to be very, very careful when you doing what's lawful, but you're not doing it with the right intent. So you got to be careful, man.
Yeah. Make sure we're staying disciplined. Like you're going into today. Some things, yeah, it's lawful. We could do it, but it becomes unlawful when now that thing is taking away your attention from this truth. Now you're overindulging more in that than this truth. Now that's when it becomes a problem, man. And if that's the case, hey, you have to take a step back and fix that, man.
Right.
Discipline yourself, abstain from it as much as you need. Whatever the Spirit is saying, and stay focused on what's important, what we need to be, man, which is this truth, to the best of our ability.
Yeah. What works for one Jake may not work for the other. What one thing makes a Jake strong, the other can make the Jake weak. So, get that all things are lawful but not expedient. And let's break down the word expedient. What does that mean? Because that's important. People like to see what Jake doing. And I'm talking to the younger, speaking obviously to myself first and foremost, but also to the younger men who's coming into this ministry, right? They see Jake doing it. You know what I mean? The scripture said, don't put a stumbling block before the young, for your, the men. But they see Jake doing it, like, well, I can do what they doing. You know what I mean? No, brother. You got to be careful, because they can handle it. Don't mean you can handle it.
That's it.
Yeah. The Lord also.
This brother can have 3 wives. You have 3 wives, and you done fell out the truth.
I was gonna say the Lord also gives every man his set measure, man. So whatever the Lord gives you is convenient. It says, give me neither poverty nor riches, give me a just balance, man. So ultimately the Lord is gonna give you whatever you need, man. But I got that 1 Corinthians. This is 1 Corinthians 6:12. All things are lawful unto me, but all things are not expedient. All things are lawful for me, but I will not be brought under the power of any.
And that's the point. You know what I mean? You can't let anything take you out of this truth. And you got to follow, what works for you, right? That's just how it goes. And you've got to be able to discern that and pick that up quickly. You can't be out here under the influence of, alcohol if you can't handle it. This is just as simply what it's going into. You've got to be able to handle whatever you've given, right? And operate the right way. Just because this Jake can drink 6 beers and he fine, you drink 2 beers and you out of control. No.
Yeah, hey, that's why Sirach says, see what is evil for thee, and give not thyself unto it.
That's
another thing. Jake has to be, we got to be real with ourselves. We got to know our weaknesses. We got to know, like, what triggers us, what gets us in those situations where we overindulge and whatever it is. And once we figure that out, okay, now I know this and this gets me to act this way. You know what? No, I'm not gonna do that next time. You know what? I be tweaking when I drink. Just using that as an example.
Right.
So let me. I always notice when I drink, more than 3 beers. So let me just discipline myself to 2, and let me just do it only when I know I already did whatever was required for the Lord. I already did my own other business, go to work and all that. If I have that time, that's when you can do it. That's the mentality we gotta have, man.
Right.
Not. Hey, the scripture talk about that. In time past, we were in the ways of the heathen. I roughly paraphrasing. I'm butchering the fuck out of it, but it says the way of the Gentiles, we sufficed. Like, we did enough, Gentile things, man, overindulging and shit like that. Even, just in this life we have here that we can remember, we were all indulging in ways of the Gentiles, man. We weren't disciplining ourselves with the flesh. We weren't considering anything. We were just, hey, whether it was fun, it felt good, we were just with it. Whether it was food, whether it was liquor, whether it was hoes, whatever it was, we were just right there, just doing shit. But now, hey, we have to consider, we can't be like that anymore, man. Now it's like we gotta have discipline. Now we gotta, okay, I've been doing this too much. Let me stop for God knows how long, and then, let me take a break and let me get, a week, and then I'll come back and do it again, and then, just do it for a week, once a week, or whatever the case is, whatever works for you.
Right.
Okay. That's a part of that self-examination that we need to go through, man.
Yeah. Wise man know when he slippeth, right? Loosely paraphrasing.
I got that. That's a rock. This is Sirach 37 and 27. My son, prove thy soul in thy life, and see what is evil for it, and give not that unto it.
That's it. Don't give your soul and everybody, like the brother was saying, everybody is different. A brother might be able to handle liquor, but you can't. A brother might be able to handle, hey, hoes, but you can't. You fall in love right away,
Right.
A brother might be able to handle, video games. You may not. That shit, you might be stuck right there until you finish the whole fucking game. Like whatever
Right.
it is, if it's evil for you, if you know that it takes you away, takes your attention away from this truth to the point where you overindulge, to the point where you're going off, then don't give yourself unto that, man. If you could figure out, some discipline to where you could like maybe do it, like I said, maybe do it once a week, twice a week, hey, do that. But if it comes to the point where that doesn't even work, and every time you just indulge, you just can't control yourself, then it might be one of those things to where we might have to completely cut it off.
Right.
That's the reality of things, man. And ultimately, it's just a small sacrifice, man, just for this moment. Once we're in the kingdom, man, hey, we're gonna have new bodies. We're gonna be disciplined automatically. We're not gonna want to indulge. We're not gonna be under this flesh, these chains of darkness that just constantly want to do, carnal things. We're gonna be straight. So it's not for that long. And at the end of the day, that's really what makes you a man. That's really what gives you a throne and gets us a kingdom, man. Having that discipline, having applying this wisdom,
Right.
overindulging in shit without any restraint, just giving yourself to it. Hey, that's childish, man.
Right.
That's a boy. You still got a lot of growing up to do, man.
Facts. And I'm glad you said that, Chicago, because that's very important, right? And I thought about this for a long time. Just because and that's very heavy. You said that because just because the age say you're a man, you're 12 years old, that doesn't mean you're mentally, emotionally, spiritually a man, right? We still got growing up to do. So that, and that takes discernment. You know what I mean? You know for yourself, you still a kid at heart, kid ways, and you're not mentally mature enough to handle certain things. So you need to wait. That's a part of that growing up process. You got plenty of time to grow up. You know what I mean? Obviously not now, but you know what I'm saying? You don't have to rush into anything. And I think Jake, because they want to fit in, they rush into a lot of stuff and they're not mentally mature enough to handle it. They need to wait. They need to fall back because they haven't exercised themselves, old enough to figure it out. They still mind it hasn't even fully developed yet to figure it out.
Yeah, and to add on, we're all being woken up from Babylon, man, from Babylonian ways. Babylon doesn't raise men; they raise children, man. So, us coming from Babylon, being indoctrinated by Babylon, we might have some still childish tendencies, man, and we have to acknowledge that and do our best to like Levert was saying, to grow out of it, man.
Yeah, and it takes some longer than the others, man. Some. And like you said, Babylon still got us in the some of the those in the chokehold. The water Yahbashai woke us up, but some it is what it is, man. We talk about all the time. Ain't no fool like an old fool. Some people grow up and still never get rid of that some of that old man that's still left, or that youthful, unbridled desire that they have never controlled.
Yeah.
Want to go back to that Galatians?
Yeah, that Galatians. Because you don't want to go fight all this hard and then lose at the end because you couldn't control yourself.
Right. I mean, when you look at our downfall, the downfall of Israel, our nation. When you look at it, it was always what? Because Jake couldn't control their flesh. They couldn't control their lust.
Facts.
Whether it was money, whether it was woman, whether it was, whatever it is, we couldn't control our lust, and that's what got us jacked up.
Facts. Talking about we missed the leeks and the melons. give us meat, flesh. We was just bugged out.
Yeah, because it felt good. It was, it was good to the flesh. So that's what we wanted. Bro, Jake was so into the flesh, they didn't regard or consider that the Lord was taking us out from captivity and bringing us into our own land where we rule ourselves.
Ain't that crazy, man? Here we are leaving our oppressor and they want to go back. That is insane.
Yeah. No, that's why we can't be like that anymore, man. We gotta acknowledge that as a nation and change, man. This is why the Lord gave us his grace period, so we could do that. We could show that, man. Not to do the same shit again. The Lord didn't jack us up because we were giving ourselves to the flesh, put us in this predicament just to give us grace so we could give ourselves into the flesh again.
Facts. Done.
The Lord didn't down the cross for no reason. Man.
That's it.
Facts.
And yeah, this discipline, like I said, it might not feel good, but it's gonna be worth it, man. And in the kingdom, man, we're actually gonna be able to please our flesh where it's not going off and where we're actually gonna be satisfied, man. Because on this side, this flesh is never satisfied, man. You get a taste of something you're into, and the flesh wants more and more and more and more.
Yeah.
But in the kingdom, we're actually gonna feel satisfied in whatever it is that we like to indulge in, man. And it's gonna be in balance. It's gonna be just right.
Con.
This is Galatians 5 and I'm started 13. Jump around. This is Galatians 5 and 13. For brethren, ye have been called unto liberty. Only use not liberty for an occasion to the flesh, but by love serve one another.
So that goes back to the fact that, you got to know your brother, your personnel, right? Like Shakar was just saying, if I'm into this and I know this is going to cause my brother to fall, he ain't strong as I am, we're not going there. We going to avoid that. Like I know some of the brothers, strip club was their trigger. So he's like, you can't take him to the strip club because he going to lose it. It was like what was that old cartoon where you take the wolves, took one to the city and one to the country? Y'all remember that cartoon? It was two wolves, a cartoon. I forgot what it was. Long story short, neither one of them could handle each other's situation. The city wolf went to the country, and the country took over his mind. He couldn't handle himself. Same thing. The country wolf came to the city and lost his mind. He couldn't contain himself. So, you got to just be mindful of your people, man, and know what may cause them to fall. And we don't want to cause a stumbling block for our brothers. So we got to be mindful of that. And it could be something simple that triggers them that they have that problem forever, So we just got to be mindful, man.
Yeah, that's it. That's another point too. We gotta watch ourselves, but also watch over brothers. That we know that, hey, don't do that. Don't do it in front of that brother, because then now the reason why he's probably falling off, it could be because of you. Yeah, we don't want other people's blood in our hands, man.
Very good point.
I keep reading verse 14. For all the law is fulfilled in one word, even in this, thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. But if ye bite and devour one of another, take heed that ye be not consumed one of another. This I say then, walk in the spirit, and ye shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh. For the flesh lusteth against the spirit, and the spirit against the flesh, and these are contrary the one to the other, so that ye cannot do the things that ye would.
And that's the constant battle. You can't put no sweets in front of me. I'm eating a whole cake. Eat the cake, Annie Mae. You got to be like Shakar said. You got to be disciplined and control yourself, man. We jesting, but it's real, man. You know what I mean? we still in captivity, you know, and we trying to get rid of all the residual effects of the old man, you know. And then you definitely don't want. It's like a drug addict, right? The drug addict then kick the habit. You know what I mean? He's good, and then you bring him in the element, or and he goes back into where he just came from. It's gonna be worse.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. And like we're saying, man, everybody has their own thing, their own vice, their own lust, their own thing, you know. And like I said, we have to be real with ourselves, acknowledge that, and know how to control it. Sometimes it might be to where we have to completely abstain ourselves from it, man.
Yep.
As hard as it may seem, you know.
Yeah.
You know, at the end of the day, you know, when you really think about it, it's not that important, man. You know.
Yeah. Nothing's more important than your salvation. Point blank. Period.
That's it, and that's the feeling everybody who indulged in the flesh and did all these things that thought that was better than the truth. When the Lord comes back, that's the feeling they're gonna say, like, "Damn, this wasn't worth shit. This is nothing. Like, what the fuck was I doing?"
Yeah.
You know, and if we don't want to be those guys, then hey, we gotta, you know, not use this liberty as a cloak of maliciousness, but as the Lord intended. To serve Him.
And then you got to know, like you said, you know, brother, you know, you elder brother's always good at, you know, understanding when, you know, that demon is on you, you got to rebuke that demon.
Yeah. Hey, sometimes you might have to cast a lot. Like, damn, you know what? I haven't done this in a while, but sometimes I've been thinking, you know, Lord, can I take a sip? Hey, the Lord might be like, hell no, nigga. Or sometimes he'll be like, you know what? All right, cool.
Not you.
All right, cool.
One sip for you turn into 25 drinks.
You know, like, hey, nah. Or he might be like, hey, all right, cool. But just, you know, but make sure you stick to that line, because if not, then now you're in a whole bigger trouble, man.
Yeah.
Remember, hey, the scriptures talk about the law. It's the law falls to the land, but the disposing thereof is of the Lord. So whatever the law falls on, that's literally the answer the Lord is giving you, man. You know, but these are steps, these are ways, these are things that we could do to keep ourselves more in control, to keep ourselves more from using this liberty as a cloak of maliciousness, man.
Facts. And like you said, you know what I mean? We're going to get all this and more in the kingdom. So, you know, just wait.
Hey, what the scripture say? It says, what? Pleasures evermore?
Right.
It says the Lord is going to give us the desire of our hearts.
Right.
So it's fine, man. It's fine not to enjoy shit like you would want to here on this side, man. It's not that great. Everything is defiled. Nothing is really yours. Nothing really lasts. You know, so why are you getting so bent out of shape? Because the Lord requires discipline, man.
Facts.
Any brothers have anything else?
No, you got anything?
Nah.
We can get that. We could end it with that Sirach 5, where it talks about. I think it's 5 and 7.
Made no tearing to turn to the Lord.
You can't. Yep.
God, this is Ecclesiasticus, also known as Sirach, chapter 5, and verse. I'll start at 6. And say not his mercy is great. He will be pacified for the multitude of my sins, for mercy and wrath come from him, and his indignation resteth upon sinners.
That's it.
Make,
So don't. Oh, go ahead.
now, make no tearing to turn to the Lord, and put not off from day to day. For suddenly shall the wrath of Yahweh come forth, and in thy security thou shalt be destroyed and perish in the day of vengeance.
Yeah, no, yeah. There you go, man. You know, don't say he'll be pacified of my sins. Oh, the Lord has his under grace. I could overindulge in this. I could do this. I don't have to be. No, man. Because mercy and wrath come from him, man. With that spirit, with that attitude, the Lord will fuck you up. You know, and that security, when you think you're straight, and the Lord, when you think you're getting saved, the Lord's gonna be like, no, look at what you did. Your whole, time that when you're in the truth, or you called yourself being in the truth, you were pleasing yourself.
Yep.
You weren't out there, fighting the flesh. You weren't out there, being a brother. You were just there, just for you, man.
Yep.
So we don't want to get caught up in our security thinking we're straight, finding out we're really not, man.
Yeah. So don't be confident in a plain way.
And the scriptures talk about that the Lord loveth none but them that dwell with discipline. If I'm not butchering it, the Lord loves those that dwell with discipline. You can't keep the law, statutes, and commandments without discipline.
Facts.
Yeah. It says to mortify the deeds of the flesh, put your body under subjection.
Yep.
That's it.
Okay, that was it.
No, you were gonna get that mortified?
Oh, you want me to get that?
Yeah, we get into that. But
This is Colossians 3:5. Mortify therefore your members which are upon the earth, fornication, uncleanliness, inordinate affection, evil concupiscence, and covetousness, which is idolatry. For which things sake the wrath of Yahweh cometh on the children of disobedience.
right, we don't want to be children of disobedience, man. Where his wrath come upon us because we were making excuses or justifying, pleasing the flesh.
It says,
go ahead.
now I was gonna say it says obedience is better than sacrifice, man.
That's it.
So the Lord wants us to hearken and be obedient and listen unto him, man.
Yeah. There's a scripture in this flesh dwell no good thing.
If I can read a little bit further down, verse 7, and the which he also walked some time when he lived in them. But now ye have also put off all these: anger, wrath, malice, blasphemy, filthy communication out of your mouth, with the communication going to conduct. Lie not one to another, seeing that ye have put off the old man with his deeds, and have put on the new man, which is renewed in knowledge and after the image of him that created him. So our minds are supposed to be renewed, man. Our minds are supposed to be conformed to the word of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai, man. That word renew means means refresh, man. So our minds should be refreshed towards the Lord, man, away from these old men and away from all the stuff that we used to do, and into what we're doing now in His truth, man.
Yeah, following his example, man. Hey, Yahushai was strictly dedicated to his father's business, nothing else.
Nothing else.
He wasn't worried about hoes. He wasn't worried about, fucking
money.
Money. He wasn't chasing money. He wasn't, drinking to the point where, he was overindulging. And he liked to drink. The scriptures talk about that he was a wine bibber. But even that, it's like, no, he was strictly focused on his father's business, which is the example we have to follow, man. Forget everything else, man. We have a mission to do, man. We have to bring back our people, man. That's the mentality we got to put ourselves in, man. This ain't time to fucking play around and fuck around. This is time to build. This is time to grow. This is time to be that example to our nation. You know, that was it.
Yeah.
Hey, so you bros had any last words?
No.
Hey, so hopefully you bro were edified, just something that was in our spirits to go into. You know, hey, we're almost out of here, so you know this discipline. You know, hey, it's not gonna be for long, man. So stop complaining, stop making it a big deal. But hey, even if the Lord doesn't come back, let's say with another 10 years, then hey, so what? This is what we got to do, man. Hey, the scriptures talk about making our bodies a living sacrifice, man. You know, hey, the scriptures also say that we are not, we're bought with a price. We are not our own. You know, so we owe our lives, you know, dedicate our lives to Yahweh Shem Yahushai, man, and do it what pleases Him and not ourselves, man. So hey, don't use this grace that the Lord gave us as a cloak of maliciousness. You know, as this liberty for the occasion of the flesh, but to be a servant of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai to the best of our ability, so we may be saved, man.
It's the temple of the Lord, man.
That's it. You know, so with that, we're going to end it by giving our praise and glory to Yahweh. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Yesharala that well, and salutations to you, Akim, out to the highways and the byways, preaching His word in truth and in sincerity. Shalom.
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 Ba ba ba.
Abba.
Ba ba ba.